Welcome back everyone. Here we are with the second lecture of the chapter Electrostatics from your textbook. In previous lecture we had discussion on charges, their properties, additive process, quantization of charge, Coulomb's law, its scalar and vector form, and many more things. In today's lecture we are going to start with few applications related to charge. Let's start this session with principle of superposition of charge. Here, this word superposition defines itself, that is, it is some like bulk amount. For example, if I consider there are charges Q1, Q2, Q3 and so on. So the sum of that all charges is called like a superposition. So the law states that when a number of charges are interacting, the resultant force on a particular charge is given by the vector sum of forces exerted by individual charges. Here we are going to consider number of charges, that is Q1, Q2, Q3 up to Qn. We have different points. You can see it over here. We have points A1, A2, A3, A4 and so on. So the force between or force exerted by Q1 on Q2 is F12. Force exerted on Q1 by Q3, you can see it over here, it's F13. Force exerted by Q4 on Q1 is F14 and same with F152. Now according to the principle of superposition, we can say that total force, that is we consider it as the F1 on charge Q1 is the vector sum of such all forces, that is vector F1 is equal to vector F12 plus vector F13 plus vector F14 and so on. Now we know that according to vector form of Coulomb law, the force given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square into R cap. If we consider it for R12, R13, R14 and so on, then it is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught as a common term in bracket Q1 Q2 vector R12 square R cap 12 plus vector Q1 Q3 vector R13 R13 cap plus so on. So here we are going to consider R12 cap, R13 cap, R14 cap are the unit vectors directed to Q1 from Q2, Q3 respectively, and the perpendicular distances we considered as the R12, R13, R14 and so on. So if we are going to consider that there be a n point charges, at that time it is given by the summation of Fn. You know this basic concept of summation. So in this way, principle of superposition works. Now, when we consider, let's consider one example. For example, three charges of 2 microcoulomb, 3 microcoulomb and 4 microcoulomb are placed at points A, B and C respectively as shown. Determine the force on A due to other charges. Now you can see it over here. Vector, there are 3 point charges A, B and C given here. AB is equal to 4 cm, BC is equal to 3 cm. So we can find out value of AC according to that. 16 plus 9, 25, root of 25 is 5. The value of AC ban gaya 5. Now magnitude on force F is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square. Now we have value of, we are going to consider it for the AB. So value of A is 2 into 10 raised to minus 6 because of here it's given. A के लिए 2 microcoulomb है, B के लिए 3 है and C के लिए 4 है. Now when we consider this thing, हमने पहले FAB find out कर लिया, then FAC find out कर लिया with the same way. Then हमने कंसिडर किया एफ ए बी एंड एफ ए सी अकॉर्डिंग टू सुपरपोजिशन लॉ दे आर गेटिंग एडेड. तो ये ऐड करने के बाद क्या मिल गया? फाइनल रिजल्ट. See it over here. First FAB find out here. Then FAC find out किया. Then उनको add किया and final result. So in this way, when we consider, we are going to find out resultant, direction. At that time, we know that how to find out that. That is a sine upon cos, and we are going to find out theta inverse for tan theta. So in this way, we'll find out magnitude of resultant force and direction of resultant force too. Fine. Moving towards next point. Here we are going to start with electric field. Now, electric field क्या होता है? If I consider I have one magnet. I am talking about magnet here, and we place some iron pieces around it. Now, there will be a limit of that particular iron piece or magnet to attract itself towards magnet. Right? वहाँ पे क्या होता है कि एक लिमिट के बाहर beyond that limit वो जो iron piece है वो magnet को attract नहीं कर पाता. Right? So, till that point, that particular object will experience the force, experience magnetic force, that is called as field, magnetic field. In that same manner, if I consider वहाँ पे charge in place of magnet, यहाँ पे क्या है? Charge हम consider कर रहे हैं. So this region around a charged object in which Coulomb force is experienced by another charge. I repeat, this region around a charged object in which Coulomb force is experienced by another charge is called electric field. Now, उसका कुछ formula भी बन सकता है. As we all know that electric field is defined as force experienced per unit charge. मतलब F upon Q आएगा. If I consider in place of Q1 and Q2, let's consider capital Q and small q be the two charges separated with distance r. Now Coulomb's force is F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon r square. Now if we consider in place of Q1 Q2 capital Q and small q, this equation turns as vector F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught capital Q into small q divided by r square. Now if we require it in vector form, it becomes F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught capital Q into small q divided by r square into r cap, where we consider that r cap as a unit vector. Now according to definition of electric field or mathematical definition of electric field, it is given by force per unit charge. If we consider capital Q is a charge caused for the electric field, then capital E, that is electric field, is denoted by capital E is equal to vector F upon small q. Now we have value of vector F, that is Q into Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into r cap. Here we are going to divide this particular term with small q. Now Q gets cancelled. Remaining term E is equal to F upon Q is equal to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square into r cap. This Coulomb force acts across an empty space and does not need any intervening medium for its transmission. It means the electric field exists around a charge irrespective of the presence of other charges. Due to this region, Coulomb force is a vector force or vector quantity. Now, if I consider electric field of a charge, that is the field around that particular charge in which Coulomb force is experienced by another charge, then that electric field is also a vector quantity which directed along the direction of Coulomb force experienced by another charge. You can see it in diagram. Here we are going to consider plus Q, the unit positive charge at center. Due to this force, electric field यहाँ पे produce हो रहा है. Till this point, if Q एंड यहाँ पे हम स्मॉल q कंसिडर करते हैं टिल द रीजन अप टू विच ये जो स्मॉल q है ये कूलोम्स फोर्स एक्सपीरियंस कर रहा है विच इज प्रोड्यूस्ड ड्यू टू दिस चार्ज, then that particular region is called as electric field. And now we are going to find out units and dimensions for that as per we our knowledge force having क्या बोलते हैं उसको यूनिट न्यूटन एंड फॉर चार्ज इट्स कूलोम. सो फोर्स अपॉन चार्ज, तो यहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रिक इंटेंसिटी का यूनिट हो गया न्यूटन पर कूलोम. Practically, we are going to express it in the form of volt per meter. Now, dimensional formula. For force, it's L1 M1 T minus 2. For charge, it's I1 T1. Because of current is equal to charge upon time. So, charge is equal to current into time. So, final dimensional formula for electric field intensity is given by L1 M1 T minus 3 I minus 1. I hope you understood up to this point. Just take 2 minutes and go through this. Fine. Let's move towards next point. Here we are going to consider electric field intensity of a point charge. Now, for a point charge, we are going to consider a point, I'm sorry, there is kind of disturbance. Here we are going to consider a point charge Q which is placed at point O. The dielectric constant is K. We are going to consider another charge Q naught placed at point P at distance R from point O. So यहाँ पे क्या हो गया? On point O charge is Q. On point P, charge is Q naught. They are separated by distance R and dielectric constant K. Now we know that the Coulomb's law is given by F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square. We are going to place it in a vector form and Q1 is equal to Q, Q2 is equal to Q naught. So the equation becomes F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught upon R square into R cap. R cap is a unit vector which shows us direction of force along OP, that is from O to point P. And after introducing dielectric constant, again this equation turns as F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught K Q1 Q2 upon R square, that is Q naught upon R square into R cap. Now we know that definition of electric field intensity is given by E is equal to F upon Q. Here Q naught is considered as another charge. So the electric field will be produced because of charge Q. So E is equal to F upon Q naught 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught K Q naught upon R square into R cap divided by Q naught. Q naught gets cancelled. The direction of E is along with OP. So the electric field intensity finally becomes, just make this term in a bracket form, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught K Q upon R square into R cap. मैग्नीट्यूड के साथ ही आएगा, यहाँ पे जो वेक्टर फॉर्म है पूरा का पूरा निकल जाएगा. रिमेनिंग टर्म E इज इक्वल टू 1 अपॉन 4 पाई एप्सिलॉन नॉट K Q upon R square. If we consider that another medium as air or vacuum, we know the value of dielectric constant for that term. K is equal to 1. So remaining term E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R square. Now according to this, E is inversely proportional to R square or E is directly proportional to Q. If we place the graph of Coulomb's law or Coulomb force or electric field intensity versus perpendicular distance, the graphical nature follows the inverse square law. So it is the curvy decreasing nature. Fine. Now if we consider there are few types of electric fields according to their magnitude and direction. If we consider there are two types, one is uniform electric field, one is non-uniform electric field. At that time ये खुद को explain पहले ही कर रहा है. Uniform है मतलब क्या है बाबा, I am same at all points, and non-uniform है मतलब I am different. So uniform electric field, according to your textbook language, uniform electric field is a field whose magnitude and direction is same at all points. And non-uniform, exactly opposite to this, magnitude and direction is not same at all points. You can see it over here in this diagram. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? They are parallel with same magnitude and direction. They are different. That is non-uniform electric field. So question might be arises. Write a short note on type of electric fields. You have to define that both, that is uniform, non-uniform, and give one example as this diagram or any example which you want. I hope you're done. Now let's start with derivation of practical way of calculating electric field. How to calculate electric field practically? Here we are going to take a pair of charged parallel plates. Electric field between them we are going to consider as uniform. Potential difference हमने V consider किया है. They are separated by distance D. Electric field between them is directed from A to B. Now charge plus Q placed between the plates जो experience कर रहा है force F, and that force is because of electric field as we know. If we have to move the charge against the direction of field, क्या करना है हमें? इसको पॉजिटिव प्लेट के टूवर्ड्स मूव करना है. उसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? If we require to move the charge, there is a requirement of work done. As we all know that potential is work done per unit charge. So work done का वैल्यू कितना हो गया? Potential into charge. With that same manner एक और फॉर्मूला है पोटेंशियल का, that is force into perpendicular distance. Work done हम ऐसे भी दे सकते हैं, force into displacement, that is F into D. So we have two values over here of force. One is work done is equal to potential into charge. Work done is equal to force into displacement. अगर इन दोनों को हमने compare किया, VQ is equal to FD. Now F upon Q becomes V upon D. Again we know that F upon Q means force per unit charge. If I consider force per unit charge, it is electric field intensity. So electric field intensity can again define as V upon D, that is potential per unit distance also. So this is again commonly used definition of electric field. First of all, we can define this term as a force upon charge or force per unit charge, and in second way we can define it as a potential per unit perpendicular distance. Let's take one example. If you consider gap between two electrodes of the spark plug used in an automobile engine is 1.25 mm. If the potential of 20 volt is applied across the gap, what will be the magnitude of electric field between the electrodes? Now we have formula and we have all given points. If we consider R is equal to 1.25 millimeter, that is 1.25 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. Given potential is 20 volt. So we have formula E is equal to V upon D. Substitute that value is 20 upon 1.25 into 10 raised to minus 3. You'll get 16 into 10 raised to minus 3 volt per meter. So in this way you can calculate electric field intensity with this another formula too. There is one more example or two more examples in your textbook. Please go through that. Now we are going to start with next core part of this chapter, that is electric lines of forces. This concept is totally familiar for all of you. We already had this in standard 9 or 10. So the concept is same, all points are same, but in kind of different language only. Question arises like, what is electric lines of force? Explain the concept with its properties or characteristics. Let's start. Electric lines of forces introduced by Faraday, scientist Faraday. It is an imaginary curve drawn in such a way that the tangent at any given point on this curve gives the direction of electric field at that point. I repeat, it is an imaginary curve drawn in such a way that the tangent at any given point on this curve gives the direction of the electric field at that point. In simple way, the path along which the unit positive charge moves is called line of force. It is defined as curve such that the tangent at any point to this curve gives the direction of the electric field at that point. The density of the field lines indicates the strength of electric fields at the given point in space. Let's start one by one with characteristics only. The lines of force originate from a positively charged object and terminate on a negatively charged object. Start with this, end with that. The lines of force neither intersect nor meet each other, as it will mean that electric field has two directions at a single point. वो हमेशा parallelly move होता है, कभी change नहीं होता. That's why they cannot intersect or meet each other at any point. The lines of force leave or terminate on a conductor normally. The lines of force do not pass through the conductor. That is, electric field inside a conductor is always zero. Just mark this line, underline this line. The electric field inside a conductor is always zero. वो कंडक्टर से कभी पास नहीं होता, but they pass through insulators. Now I hope we all know the difference between conductors and insulators. Conductors means metal. It is the good pass, the electricity can pass through that particular object, and insulator is conductivity is very low and the resistivity is very high. Magnitude of electric field intensity is proportional to the number of lines of force per unit area of the surface held perpendicular to the field. Next, electric lines of force are crowded in a region where electric intensity is large. Electric lines of force are widely separated from each other where electric intensity is small. The lines of force of uniform electric field are parallel to each other and they are equally spaced. If we consider the geometrical construction of these lines of forces, it visualizes us the nature of electric field in a region. They don't have any physical existence. Now, due to positive charge, electric lines of forces will be like this. Due to negative charge, they are like that. This. Due to opposite charge, due to similar charge, terminate on a conductor. Electric field intensity for high intensity and low intensity. This is overall summary of these all characteristics. But you are not supposed to draw only this. You have to write these all characteristics and then you can draw that diagram. अगर आपने डायग्राम ड्रॉ नहीं किया तो भी कोई ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है, but you have to write down these characteristics. The next new concept over here, that is electric flux. The number of lines of forces per unit area. If I consider number of lines of forces and area, then electric field intensity is given by E is equal to same formula, number of lines of forces divided by area. Now how to calculate number of lines of forces? Then it is E into area. Here you can say that यहाँ पे एक इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड बन रहा है. हमने क्या कंसिडर किया? नंबर ऑफ लाइन्स ऑफ फोर्सेस, इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी. area and angle between E and S. So number of lines of forces are given by E into area. If we consider the angle between them is theta, then electric flux passing through this area is given by d phi. We are going to consider. Then it is E into, along with E, the component of ds becomes ds cos theta. If you join this, then along with E, ये component क्या बन जाएगा? ds cos theta. So it will become d phi is equal to E dot ds. E dot ds as a dot product, it's E ds cos theta. If we consider for a whole surface, then phi becomes integration of this small value, that is E dot s. SI unit E का है volt per meter, S का meter square, so 1 meter another meter gets cancelled, remaining term volt meter. So electric field का मतलब हो गया force per unit charge and electric flux का मतलब हो गया number of lines of forces per unit area. इसको मार्क करके रखना है ES और EDS cos theta, यूनिट है वोल्ट मीटर. So in this way we have discussion on what is electric field, what is electric field intensity, then electric field intensity due to the point charge for the parallel plate object. Then we had discussion on lines of forces, their properties, characteristics. Then we had discussed electric flux. So let's stop here for today. In next lecture, we are going to start with Gauss theorem, statement, applications, and then we'll move towards the point charge intensity and all. I hope you understood this till this point. Thank you.